to the final in this series of basic Roll20 tutorials and how to use the so far we've created a game, we've created player characters, we've made a really cool looking dungeon using all free material. We've learned the option of dynamic lighting. Whether or not you decide to pay the extra for that is entirely up to you. And finally, we are now going to make some really cool monsters. And again, we're going to keep this free. So let's jump in. Right, so 2 wolves fighting in a pit. So we're just picking up right where we left off with our dungeon that we'd created. And we need 2 wolves. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into the compendium and I'm going to type in wolf. I'm hoping, there we go, just there at the bottom, in the SRD, which is the standard free stuff that everyone's got, wolves are available. And we can see here that they are a medium beast. They are unaligned. We need to know that. So let's go to roll advantage. Let's select our type. Now I want my monsters to be different to my players. So my players are using this one. My monsters, I think I'm going to use a different one. Personal choice. But I'm going to use this one here. And I'm also going to make them all white. I'm going to make them a strange sort of... This is the final copy here. This is final what it looked like. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so now I'm going to 5e, so we know what we're talking about. And I'm going to type in wolf. Images, see what we've got. We've got a winter wolf there. We've got a small wolf. We could have a look. I mean, there's also these cool ones. That's really cool. Yeah, so I'm just going to use the standard. This is from D&D Beyond. I'm going to use the standard wolf, just because I might use the winter wolf at another time. So let's drag that up and drop it. And we just need to get this placement right. Now, as I mentioned before, you can decide if you want to have the full body. For example, you could have this. And in terms of background, don't worry about that. Just change your background to white. And then this is the finished copy here. I like to have just the faces. So I'm going to zoom in just enough there. And I'm going to have him slightly offset down here a little bit. Nope, that was crap. Let's put him there. Yep, okay, I'm happy with that. There's our wolf. Let's get it downloaded. Now, let's go back to here. I'm going to click the arrow now, so I've got a quick reference. And wolf is a challenge rating 1/4. I'm going to go back to my journal. And in characters, I'm going to right click and I'm going to add a subfolder. And I'm going to call it monsters. So this is where I create my monster manual. I'm going to add another one, and I'm going to put 1/4. In fact, to be more exact, I'm going to put challenge rating or CR 1/4. And in there, I'm going to create a character. So add character, and it's going to give it a name like so. And let's edit it. And it's not that at all, it's a wolf. Drop a file. So we navigate to wherever we've saved our file. This one's just in there. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to drop it in there. And again, it takes a moment to upload it and then ages to actually show that it's done that. I don't show this in any of these, but so I'm not going to put it in any of the players' journals and can be edited controlled. Nobody, just me. So it is a wolf. I'll get there in the end. CR, and I'm going to put 1/4, and there's no spaces there, otherwise it doesn't work. I'm also going to put beast, and I don't think I can think of anything else that I might be looking for. And I showed this before when I was creating Grum, and I never actually explained what it was, so I'll do that in a moment. So we'll save those changes, we'll go to the character sheet, and now we need to get all this information across there, and this is how we do it. Drag, drop. Done. So now we've got our wolf. Here he is. Pull him across. It's great. If we want to use his character sheet, we have to click on him. So obviously when we don't want that, we're going to create some macros. So he's only got a few things here. So he's got bite. So I'm going to click bite and it starts to do his attack. Click into the chat, press up, Control and A, Control and X to copy. Then go into attributes and abilities, add, show as token action, and I'm going to copy and paste as plain text. And I'm going to rewrite that name there as bite. There we go. So, what about an initiative roll? Now there is an initiative button right there. So I'll click, we'll move it up, and there is a lot here about who could roll initiative and why and how, and that's fine. There is a simpler macro, but for reasons that I'll explain later, that's the one that I'm going to use. So we go back into attributes and abilities, we click this, and we're going to type in initiative. Control and V doesn't work, don't do that. And paste as plain text, tick, show as token action. And it doesn't really have a lot else going on that I would need to have there ready. So we have his bite and his initiative ready to go. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into here, and we're not going to change this to HP, and there's a reason for that. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the side there, and we're going to see what his actual HP is. It's 11. So we can change that, or we could roll for it. I'm just going to put 11 in, and then for his AC, it's 13. It doesn't have any temporary hit points. Now we're going to advance, and you see that bar 1 is already done. I'm going to leave that, that's fine. I'm going to give him sight. He does not have dark vision, so I'm not going to put emits light on. But for viewing distance, I'm going to put 60 feet on. I'll save the changes on that. Almost done now. I'm going to click on the wolf again. I'm going to click edit, and now I'm going to click use selected token. Okay, so there was a couple of things there I said I'd come back to. Let's come back to them. The first one was, why didn't I put HP in there? I will show you with an example. Here is Grum. Here is another Grum. Now, there's only ever going to be one Grum, so it's fine. But let's imagine Grum was a monster. Grum gets hit and takes 5 points of HP damage. That reduces him to 10. It's reduced both of them to 10. In this case, we do not want to be like Bill, because if all of our monsters are getting injured at the same time, A, it's wrong, and B, they're going to die quickly. So we have two monsters. Instead of using HP, we've just put an amount in. So this one takes 6 points of damage. This one does not. It also means that when we slide them in, we can give them more HP by clicking on the cog. And very quickly, maybe this one rolled better. So this one has 16 hit points. Maybe we wanted to present a harder fight for our PCs. So we put one in and we give it 30 hit points. When we drag another one from the stack, it's back to basics, 11. So we have two wolves fighting down here. And I'm going to put this one there and this one there. Okay, let's create a goblin. So we'll now look for a goblin. And there we go. There's our goblin. Let's have a look. So our goblin is a challenge rating 1/4 also. And he is a small humanoid. So a small humanoid. So I will get rid of that. I'm going to keep the same frame. I want to keep it consistent. I'm going to stick on 5e and I'm going to put in goblin. And this guy's fine. Another one from D&D Beyond. Thanks, guys. And again, I just want the face. That's how I do it. This time though, I'm going to scale it down. Now, the reason I'm scaling it down will, again, I'll mention that shortly. So I'm going to make it half the size because it's small. If it was tiny, I'd go all the way to 3. But I'm going to go a little bigger, 6. 6 is good. And I'm going to download that token there. Okay, back across to here, into the 1/4 and add a character. Click and edit. Change it there to Goblin. Once again, navigate to wherever you've saved them. I like to keep mine organized, so I actually have all of the tokens that I use saved according to their character rating. It's just something, challenge rating. It's just something that I recommend. When you end up 2-3 years down the line and you've got half of the monster manual, it's good if you can quickly get to what you need. Okay, there we go. So I'll save that. And again, go back to here, drag and drop. Wonderful. So let's create his attacks now. So the first one is a scimitar. So click the scimitar, then in the chat box, press up, Control and A, Control and X, attributes and abilities, add, click the pencil, right click in the main area and paste as plain text. Let's put in his scimitar. Show as token action. And then we're going to do the short bow. I'm just going to do exactly the same thing. Control and A, Control and X, attribute and abilities, add, pencil. Make sure you, ooh, what's going on? Make sure you paste as plain text and short bow. Okay, finally, initiative. Okay, interesting point there. It's saying no token tracker was selected. I will explain that shortly. So we're going to take the initiative again, and we're going to add, right click, paste as plain text, initiative, tick, show as token action, and we're all good. Close that. Close that. Go back into this. Grab the goblin. Now you remember we made the goblin smaller, so he now appears smaller, but still snaps to 1 token, 1 space. Now if we make this, if we try to make this smaller, first of all, it doesn't work. It makes it bigger. So you have to hold Alt and you have to make it smaller, but then when you snap it, it snaps to the corners. So by making it smaller before we download the image, it's more accurate, and in terms of quality, it's still good. It's still there. Okay, right, almost done. Now, let's have another look at our goblin. Remember rightly, goblins have dark vision. So, dark vision 60 feet. So let's create this. So the HP, move that down. Ooh, why is that not working? Well, that's a little strange. Okay, HP is 7, or 2d6. So once again, 7, 7, the AC, which I think I saw was 15, and then going to the advanced, and he has dark vision, 60 feet. This is dark though, not dim, so it's 30 and 15. He has sight, which is 60 feet, and once again, because of our basic settings, bar 1 is already filled. Save the changes. Now we go back to our Goblin character sheet. We click Edit and use the selected token. Okay, so we're going to have maybe I think 2 here. I think 2's fine. Bearing in mind that the wolves are in a pit, and I'm going to say that pit is 10 feet down. So the players have an option of fighting those wolves. They don't actually have to do it. So I'm not going to include them when I'm deciding whether or not this is an accurate fight. Now, for 4 level 1 players, the challenge rating should be 1, which means we need 4 1/4 challenge rating creatures. So we can have, I think, another goblin, or we could have something that is half a challenge rating. Now, I can't remember what a hobgoblin is. It might be 1, but let's have a look. So a goblin is 1, a hobgoblin is 1/2. And we wanted the goblin leader here to have that. So let's go back and find a hobgoblin. Let's see, which hobgoblin do I like? I'm going to go for this one again. So this one's from the Forgotten Realms wiki instead of D&D Beyond. Makes a nice change. And we're going to drop that in there. It'll take the other one out, put that one in. First thing I'm going to do is put this back to 1, so it's the right size. And I'm going to make him bigger so that he fits in just like so. I don't really like having his bust in there as well. I'm just going to... Yep, okay, I'm happy with that. So I'll download, go back, and again I'm going to create a character. So this time, add a subfolder, CR 1/2. Okay. And in the 1/2, I'm going to add a character. Click that, edit, and this is a hobgoblin. I'm going to navigate to my folder wherever I'm saving these and drop that in. Give it a moment. There we go. Save changes. And in the character sheet, I'm going to go back to the compendium and drag across Hobgoblin. Okay. So, longsword action. Once again, Control A and X. And add this in to here. Longsword. Shows the token action. And then longbow. And cut that. Take it back and add the macro. Longbow. Finally, I will go and get the initiative macro. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll talk about that orange warning that we've got, what it is, and how we can use it to manage our encounters. Okay. Almost done. We just need to edit that. Oop, not yet. I'm jumping a step. We just need to put the HP on. So we jump back to our goblin, our hobgoblin, and we drag him across. I'm going to put him here. And then we will not display that. So let's remind ourselves, what was his HP? I think it was 11. So he's wearing 18, he's got chainmail and a shield, and his hit points is 11. He also has dark vision. So, 11, 18. He has dark vision, so in here, because it's dark, that's as so, 60, and save changes. And then we will go into his character sheet and we will now save him as the basic. So use selected token, save, and there we go. Right, okay. So now I will jump back to the chat. I will select Grum, wherever he is. Let's just tidy these up a little bit by closing them down and putting Grum in. We're going to put Grum up here. So we've got 2 goblins and a hobgoblin watching a fight. Grum wanders in, and then for better or for worse, combat begins. So at this point, we click this. If there's anything on it, like mine is, remove all turns and clear list. Clear. So you tell your players to roll initiative, and what they will do is click on their character, find their initiative just there, and click. And again, you can make a macro for that if you choose. And Grum now appears in the turn order. We then do this for these guys. We can do this for Wolf 1 and Wolf 2. Okay, so now we click Ascending. Try that again. And it automatically puts them in order of whose turn it is. So in this case, the wolf is going to go first. Maybe he moves across and attacks that one. I'm not going to actually role play this out. And then once he's finished his turn, you click the arrow to go to the next turn, which in this case is the other wolf who's going to do his turn. Then it's Grum. And if in this, you see we've got two goblins there. Which goblin's which? If we highlight above them, it puts a yellow box around the one that we're talking about. So we know whose turn it is. We go through the encounter as you would, each person doing their movement, action, bonus action, reaction, etc. Until you come back around to the top of the round, and this is a really, really easy way to manage the encounter. Everything is macroed out, so people can just boom, done it. I've been healed by 3 points. You could very quickly just type the number, press enter, and then it's there. Very, very easy. And from this, you should now be equipped with all the tools necessary to make really good, high quality encounters for your Roll20 game. You know how to create the game, you know how to create character sheets, you know how to make the macros, you know how to make really good looking tokens. And again, I'll point out, these are high quality. You can expand them and they remain, you know, they keep their quality. The quality being as good as the original image. For example, this one's better than the dwarf. And your monsters have got decent tokens with all their attacks are up here. You've got your turn order which tracks, and the players can see this. I haven't actually figured out yet if there is an option to change that, but I don't have a problem with them seeing it. You know, you decide. Everything's there, and yeah, I hope you found this useful. If there's something else that you'd like to see a tutorial on, then put it in the comments, and if I can, yeah, you know, I'll look into do it. I think I definitely will do another series on the more advanced stuff. Maybe we'll build a larger campaign, and we'll look at building cities and how to incorporate keeping track of your cities using handouts, how to make cool looking handouts, etc. And definitely I'll do one on dungeon dressing. So this is adding in all the extra bits that make your dungeon just look like the being used. Yeah, I hope it worked well, and please volunteer to DM for your DM to show off these awesome skills. Thanks. Bye.